Good morning, everybody. All right. So little positive numbers there. Follow through from yesterday and striking distance of all-time highs here. And we're looking at the NASDAQ futures, which have been underperforming a bit. They came on pretty strong yesterday. As you can see, they're right at the top here. And it's always a range. The pivots are way up there. The top pivots, the intraday highs where prices fell from. Those are the tails on the daily chart. So whether they stall, up here, they go through it, we shall see. You got the blast off on the number, and whether that's peters out, it's the unknown. We'll see. It was a real fast move, and just peek at the 1 minute for a second, it's just an explosion. So unless you had an open order to above the highs there, I don't know how you'd partake in that, but anyway. Explosive move, a wide range bar, a power bar out of a consolidation. It's overnight trading. Scrolling back to yesterday, it was kind of messy there. And anyway, so beginnings of consolidation at this resistance. You'd imagine it would be choppy there, but has the wind at its back, so to speak, to be able to push higher. We'll see what happens over the next several days, whether it rolls over now. Okay. S&Ps. Similar story. Looks a little different, a little less overhead congestion up there than the Qs. Got room to continue higher. Let me throw this on a 180-minute chart so I don't have to scrunch the data too much. I'll scrunch it just to see what that looks like. So I punch through those pivots. Could you imagine? It's got these others here. We don't have a void. Right? We've got a void. We don't have a void where it's like, okay, there's a nice little base. It came down from some other point, had a time correction, and now, it's like, you look at it, it's likely to reach its destination. So whether it stalls there or whether it's a greater than 100% retracement, which is another concept that's historically leads to a stall in momentum. It's yet to be seen. Yesterday's bar, just looking at this chart, yesterday's bar is an important level, not to be violated. Why? Say, well, because it's a range expansion bar. It may not look like this on the spiders, but we'll look at that. So as a general management of your position in the time frame that you are utilizing, when you get range expansion bars, especially ones that are correction bars where they take out a bar lower to, that bar's low becomes a point that should not be violated. So you raise your stop. Now, whatever happens today, right now, we assume, because of the strength, it'll continue to go up. Well, what happens with this bar at the end of the day? Is it a nice green bar? Is it a bar larger than this range expansion bar, where then today's bar would become an important point not to close below, and so on? Or does it become a topping tail bar? Maybe it comes all the way up here and then rolls back over at the end of the day, where everybody sees, oh, it's at the top of the range. So, just managing, like here where it blasted off, the bottom of this bar becomes key. The range narrowed a bit, but it's big. It becomes key. This one here, it broke the low, but turned into a bottoming tail bar, so a correction bar, and so on. This is part of the bar by bar analysis, which we'll cover to some degree today in MT Live. So it's going to be a great MT Live not to miss, because it helps you incorporate not only recognizing what's happening, but also managing a position. So these event bars are really important to recognizing what does happen and how to manage the position. All right. I'll get to spiders. So just looking at the YM here. Not as big a bar. You had a correction bar here. So lagging, it's a little bit above there, but it's got the most room to participate in an upside here. It's got this one bar, this down bar. So if this can, do a little back and fill or whatever, it does have that 40,000 number, which looks like it almost tagged. Not quite, not quite. There's the number right there. Didn't get to it. But, you know, you just drag your alerts like that and see. You don't have to watch it, but whatever you're going to watch, that's what you should be doing. Right. This has been outperforming, and that was encouraging. We spoke about that earlier in the week, but here's another range expansion bar. And it's aligned with a whole bunch of sideways consolidation, making that a extremely important line in the sand. Today's range, pre-market anyway, is expanding. And as we look at this, I know 180-minute chart, it's not usually what we look at, but the concepts are universal in that, look, this broke out. It's a range expansion bar. The bottom of that bar becomes important not to violate. So whatever jiggles are going to happen here, pre-market, maybe go sideways and just higher. It shouldn't go back down below this low. It's black and white. All right, SPY. Well, yesterday afternoon was a lot of chop. We've been getting a lot of that lately. Indecision, but overlapping bars, green bar, gap down and recovered. It's up at the top of the range. Where is it now? It's gapping well up. And so as we look at this gapping to where it is that, let me scroll that back. Scroll this away. Where is that? Is that an all-time high? It looks like it's all-time highs, give or take. So it'll be interesting to see what this does. Gapping up like that, you would think, look, it started to move here and a gap up. There's unfilled gap. It's an unfilled gap. Correction bar, continuation bar, right? You raise the stop. Going nowhere, right? Nothing to do. Higher low bar, green bar. That level it becomes important. Now it's gapping up here. Can it hold on to that for a half hour and continue, or is it going to come down here? If it comes down here, I was thinking because the factory work would be a buyer coming down here, but it's been lifting up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, days, and then gapping up here. You would think there's going to be sellers, but thinking isn't facts. We'll see how that plays out. SPX. This should be a no-brainer. Let's see what it does. 53.15 was the top number last I looked. Wow. Yeah, it's usually what happens. It gets up into that's the way it is. Some people bid it up looking, you're going to get a moonshot. If it gets up there, they make money, but it's going to expire today. So, it's a lottery ticket, I guess. 53.10. No. 52.10. 52.10. And of course, this comes way up. Right under that bar's low. So it was opening around here. It's in the middle of the strikes. Well, I think either one won't get hit. To continue up there, get through 5,300. Unlikely. I think we covered that earlier in the week. 5,300 does have a relatively large open interest, but that's expiring in over a month from now. It's not expiring. No, wait a minute. There's a 5,300 strike scroll here. Yeah, it doesn't have a large open interest, about 3,000, but there is a 5,300 strike that's relatively active. So, it should be a sticking point. That's what you look for with these things. All right. Bitcoin. We've been talking about this head and shoulders bottom. I mean, these overlapping bars, they're just not as convincing as if you get a bottoming tail bar, but the pattern is definitely shaping up. And you can see the weekly chart. It looks decent. And maybe a starter position. The erythium, which I mentioned earlier in the week, imagine it must be gapping up. It is. So starter position here, where is it? It's a little thin here. Just think how deep is it? And it's not that deep into the weekly bar. So I wouldn't go all in. But you see, it's a nice weekly, pullback to support bottoming tail bar. The makings of a red bar ignored. If this was a green bar at the end of the day on Friday, it would be, you got to do it. Right now there's still some uncertainty. So, putting on a smaller position would make sense. And let's see where it closes at the end of the week. Close that other window. What other window? I don't see what other window. I've got YouTube open as well. I don't see anything open on top of it. Interest rates moving down. How much? Right down to the 200. That's the 10-year. Right down to the 200 there. That on the weekly, that's a buy setup. And it's got to go down a little further. I don't know. The 20 is the 100 on the daily. Maybe it has to come down a little further. But this has come down enough. Maybe it comes down a little bit more before it makes a turn. Anyway, it had this period of consolidation and now breaking lower. So for the moment, it certainly supports the market's reaction to the upside. Look at gold. That's going to go higher. It's got this rounding kind of, it doesn't jump out as a head and shoulders bottom, but, you can see, if you stretch your imagination a little bit, Okay. Oh, I see. When I'm adjusting the lines, I got you. Got it. All right. SI led the way. A similar pattern. It led the way. Gold should follow. What does that mean? Inflation? The numbers are jiggling around. Who knows if these numbers are real or not? But but gold seems to be in play near all-time high. So maybe the inflation thing really doesn't matter. Oil continuing to inch lower. Isn't that a danger? We have to stretch our imagination. Well, I think knowing that I even said such a thing, Robert, it means that we have to keep ourselves in check because we have these thoughts, right? And thoughts don't mean act, but so look, this is beginning to line up now, which we talked about earlier in the week, that should the market continue higher up here, and now we've got some data that is supportive, things are getting better, we're going to get to the 2% no matter what, blah, 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 right? And not only that, I mean, we can be skeptical of what these politicians are saying. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's healthy that we should do that. But late last week, or earlier this week, I think I showed you. Where is it? What is it? This started to come down. This commodity started to come down. This was coming down. these were positive things, right? Just like when they were going up, I was saying there's no way they're going to cut interest rates. I mean, the charts are saying they ain't going to happen, but now we're seeing data like that is supportive of what we want to see happen for inflation to begin to come down. Rather than hearing what the talking heads have to say, we look at the charts, the intermarket analysis, and say, hey, is this working or is it not working? So the anticipation of it working, which was a heads up here, what was happening, that's come into play now. S&P's coming up, and sentiment turned around, breath turned around. They're going to come into alignment, and we're going to get some kind of corrective price action. The extent of it is unknown. But, if you saw in the journal, I think it was last night, we hear a lot of stores closing up, but there was a mention of the lobster restaurant going bankrupt. And so is there a recession? Maybe the numbers don't support it, but there's a lot of stores closing up. There's a lot of people hurting, and bankruptcies increasing. So Bidenomics has been a great big effing flop. So you know what to do in the coming months. Anyway, they're not going to pull no rabbit out of the hat for sure. But we'll monitor this in the coming days, because when these lines meet together, historically, we know that risk is rising for longs. Right? All right, I don't think there's anything I haven't covered here. Yeah, that's about it. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, Brett, that's what they're doing in California too. And remember the politicians saying it's not going to hurt anybody, any business. It's just going to help the poor employee. That's California should be its own. They should secede because they're so different than the other states. All right, my West alarm went off here. We're in trail mode. This was a beautiful breakout trade. So today, MT Live, we're talking about our top patterns. This is a quality breakout. Downside shakeout, gap, took out the prior low, added breakout weekly. So we sold a third of that. An RCL alarm just went off at 142. I don't see any prints though. Aichi mentioned this. Let's see what it does in the morning. Tomo. Oh, my 600 alarm went off. And we'll have to come back. Another beautiful pattern. Today's session. It's a gap breakout of an inverse head and shoulders. Beautiful. So we have a half lot left. GDXJ alarm. We're in this. Looks good. We have more long calls, I think, or a call spread. The Tesla alarm went off. Finally made the multi-bar turn here. Then we have the half lot. Alcoa, we're in, up alarm. All right, I'll come back to all these after they settle down. I already got tight stops in, but yeah, these are a lot of alarms going off here. NVDL, I posted long pre-market. Another breakout, inverse head and shoulder. This is NVIDIA levered, but it was down pre-market, which is when I posted it, because then that would be better. But ripped here, not chasing. So yesterday and into the close, I was bullish in the afternoon. I said that the money is wanting to be exposed in front of this number. They wanted exposure. It's not like they weren't running for the exit. They wanted exposure. So that just sentiment, ignoring all this inflation data, wars going on, record deficits. I heard some guy on CNBC's, I think it was Rick Santelli, saying we're close to exceeding the debt on the deficit is close to exceeding our our budget for military per year. So that's like 800 billion. That's crazy numbers. That's just interest. But market doesn't care. And that's what we're here trading, making money trading. And um, that woman, um, the macro maven woman in Dallas, a very smart woman. I've met her, I like her, but she's like a penultimate bear. And I kind of feel bad for her. She's out there giving her bearish case all the time. The economy's not strong, this and that. But we're not trading your opinion on how strong the economy is. We're trading these pictures. And I don't know if she manages money or what, but bearish bias, you've sure been gotten run over. Um, only let's see. So this one, these are some earnings trades now. This one, I said it's going to be a shock pattern if it gaps over these red bars, and then it'll be kind of a sloppy W bottom. Or if it opens flat, it's going to be a continuation breakdown. And now we're up at 49, so the gap's too big. Hey, Greg, remind me when we slow down. I want to ask you about the Cricket Club condo in Miami Beach. There's a big article in the journal about it today. About, we'll talk about it later. Don't want to get sidetracked. So if this were gapping to the low 45s, I would be all over this. And talking about inflation again, our CPI number today, obviously, so this is relevant. I read an article in the journal that said Argentina had its first inflation print under 10% in over a year. It said their annual inflation rate is 289% in Argentina. I can't even imagine what your daily life is like with inflation at 289%. I mean, I complain about it pretty much every day. And it's ours is cumulative 25%, right? Because all these prints, even though it's slowing, it's still growing. I don't know how many people understand that. All they hear is Biden saying, "Oh, inflation's under control. Don't worry about it." Okay. And then my grocery bill at Publix yesterday, Alex, it used to be $60 a week. Yesterday was $251. Insane. All right, here's another gap breakout setup. Another one that I said we could trade either way. So this one, I was hoping I would stay here in the low 48s and then chop around for 30 minutes. And, you see here, it kept going, but I have it in the bottom right window here. So we'll watch that. SRAD 1045, I got that in this middle window. Nice gap, big old void. Watch pull back on that. Mindy, 217, big gap. This is also one I said we could have traded up or down based on the gap. So this is a gap up, creating a double bottom. And the problem is the gap's too big. I don't, my risk to reward is horrible here. KRE, yeah. I think that's heading for this gap fill, low 52s, which, if this tail is real, then it blew past that. Dole, gap breakout, watch a pullback, RSKD. Let me get Raul on 570, gap's too big. Raul CPS, short below yesterday's low. Yeah, sell setup, relative weakness. Light volume though, only 101,000. You see how spotty the 15 is. But sure, sell setup. Talking about sell setups, we bought a put spread on Charlie India yesterday into the close, and look, it's gapping down. So that's nice relative weakness. Nice. Hut, hut, jumpy pattern, ship, $11. You know, your igniting breakout was here after this 180 reversal. That was your no-brainer entry. And I looked for puts yesterday and there's no juice. All right, that's all the earnings trades. Let's just go to my watch list here and I can set an alarm. LTRX. All right, here you go. There you go. There's a bottoming pattern with a 1, 2, 3. So that's a beautiful day trade, gapping over this 15-day-and-a-half, 15-minute base. Beautiful. I'll put that in the window. You know, I want to see what the market horsemen are going to do in the first couple of minutes, but if they hold, then that's a great day trade. Texas Roadhouse, bull rectangle. I have an alarm, RCL alarm. I told you went off 142. Oracle blasted yesterday with a big order from Musk. If we can get a couple inside bars, would be good. Yeah, buy setup in the weekly PBR. They ousted the CEO, I think. That's Brazilian oil, of course. AI. There were some management changes there too. Boeing, FAA said they violated their agreement from 3 years ago. Dell got an upgrade. We were talking about this yesterday. This bullish 15-minute pattern. So this was on my long watch today, but big old gaps messing it up. Right, let's go through these alarms here. Tile, 30-minute high is a long idea. ESTC, we are long stock. Tick over almost 1600, AD line over 1800. That's a powerful open. But look on your 15-minute chart. It's extended far from the 20. The indexes, though, no rush at all to get into longs. In fact, I'm more focused on managing opens and tightening stops. The ESTC, we can move stop 108 here, 48. Let's sell a third here. We're up almost $3 on a third lot. Let's take it. And watch that in the video on a pullback. And then I had Clack on my list yesterday too in the semi department. Clack up over $6. NVDL. Yeah, the video looks great. Yeah, at first I thought the gap was too big, but now that I see it on the print, it's not at all. Um, yeah, let's buy half lot, stop yesterday's low. Charlie India, nice. Charlie India, low alarm. Nice. Weakness. New alarm, up alarm 347, low alarm 342. Let's see where the midpoint is. Oh, SMCI, I posted in Telegram as a long watch too. It's trades with NVIDIA a little bit. 347. Wow, the spreads are crazy now on Charlie India. Yeah, yeah, oil's weak, yeah. Yeah, we're short sector. Our NVIDIA put spread, I said bid a dime to get out. Let's see where that midpoint is. 870. Yeah. All right, midpoint is 14. Let's move stop below. Under this. 9, 10, 68. Thanks, Don. I actually got it from Alex. So I give credit when I remember. All I did was, You know, when you take somebody's trade idea, you have to make it your own, meaning taking ownership instead of, you can do it in jest, but when it would really irritate me when, friends and whoever, customers or friends, oh, look what you got me into. That's like, you know, that's frustrating. Take ownership of it. It's an idea. You went through your trading plan, so I'm trading it. I just got the idea from you is all. All right, MA, we did a call spread yesterday. That's not looking good. Oh, remember Charlie India? Remember we did 2 trades. I forgot about that. So let's forgot about that. 347. Oh man, these spreads are ludicrous. 90 cents by $4. Hey, Don, you keep good records. Do you? Because I think I typed this wrong. Did we do a $5 or $10 wide call spread on Charlie India? Do you remember? In my notes here, I say $10 wide, but I don't think that's correct. Yes. All right. Wait, so we did. All right, I posted this wrong in the weekly options trader. I sure did. We did a 352. All right, 352. 3. Okay, here we go. 42 cents. Got it now. I sure did do it wrong. Yeah, you're right. I just glanced at the 15-minute picture. Still going through things here. SRAM. Yes, red, nothing. DT came in too hard. Siri, low alarm. Shoot, we only did a half lot. Yes, yeah, yeah, we entered yesterday. All right. So Siri's not acting right. Stop 298. RCL. I'll reset my alarm at 142 and forget about it. Actually, 141.60 now. DRX. So it looks good now. That was a false alarm pre-market. So let me reset the alarm at 387, which is where it is already. Disney. Well, it's too late on the 15, but it is not too late on the daily at all. So yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of I wish, we got in around 105. So yeah, it's moved too much for me on the 15, but let's see if we can get a sell set up. Yeah, if I can't get and watch them all. Can't do the best I can. All right, tile. I will reset the alarm on that. 1635. Our West is coming in, but I tightened the stop already. We're in trail mode. FIBK. Oh, nice. I gapped over that. Let's tighten the stop. Yesterday's low. 2743. And if FIBK makes a new high, then I will move the stop to 30-minute low. Still gotta go through all these alarms. No. Oh, yeah, that's relative weakness. But you know what? Now I'm going to set an alarm at 162.70. Because then it'll do red bar ignore breakout. ELP. Oh, nice. Let's move stop low. 1058. Oh, PLD stopped out yesterday. Yeah, PLD stopped out. Break even yesterday. I don't know why I have the alarm. Microsoft. I don't like Microsoft pattern. AEE. I just don't like all the overlapping bars. I'd prefer it tomorrow over today's high on a sloppy bar pattern like that. All right, XOP, we have long 152.5 puts. Puts. Man, things are spready today. Like a 50-cent spread in this. That's not normal for XOP. Yeah, Tesla, I don't like that reversal bar. Amazon tanking the same, if not worse. So yeah, there's some inconsistencies. Not, oil down, we already said. So it's not like everything's in party mode. Yeah, XOP looking good now for continuation lower. Um, 8, alarm. MRO, we have long puts. That looks great for continuation lower, 2692. $82. Bitcoin. PPR, let's tighten stuff. 4182. PLP. I like ELV over yesterday's high. I'll set an alert. 540. XOP low alarm. Disney didn't bounce. Alex Square, remember my discussion yesterday? Could have got us out break even right at the damn low. Remember that discussion? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I gave you my two reasons. Market was bullish and rallying, and I didn't like the morning retracement. Well, that's where it is. We're still in it, but now we got an unrealized loss. That's where our stop is. 7402. But I'm going through opens here and I don't like it. Well, some of them are judgment calls. That's part of the reason for this room, right? Is to have discussions and try to objectively tell you why I'm feeling hesitant and, getting your input too. Like I do with Sam all the time. Hey, what do you think of this credit spread? All right, XOP, I think we can move stop break even now. Let's see if these stupid spreads have tightened. Yes, much better.